This study aims to establish correlations between the Amarna Letters and biblical events, emphasizing the parallels between ancient texts and biblical narratives. By examining the accounts of David's campaigns in Aram and the pleas for help in Amarna Letters, such as Rib-Hadad's desperate reports of Habiru forces led by Hadad-Ezer conquering cities in Aram territory, this research explores the possibility that biblical figures like Abishai are mirrored in these historical texts, particularly through their military strategies and territorial influence. In context of the Aramean War of the Late Bronze Age, the response to the initial chaos created by military leader Hadad-Ezer is described in the Amarna Letter number 92. The ruler of Gubla reports on the coalition that would help him against the Habiru-supported invaders. The Pharaoh sent letters to the kings of Sidon, Tyre, and Beirut, commanding them to gather forces against the invading enemies. This letter from the ruler of Byblos reads,
"It was a gracious deed of the king, my lord, that the king wrote to the king of Beirut, to the king of Sidon, and to the king of Tyre, saying, Rib-Hadad will be writing to you for military support, and all of you are to go with him. This pleased me."
Therefore, the king of Byblos, Rib-Hadad, became the leader of an anti-Habiru coalition according to the Amarna Letters. The coalition achieved a major victory early on by retaking the city of Sumer and later by causing the death of Hadad-Ezer, as will be explored in the following chapters. Similarly to this situation in the biblical account, the Arameans also regrouped to oppose the Hebrew forces under the leadership of a man called Hadad-Ezer, king of Zobah. In the book of 2 Samuel chapter 10, verses 15 to 16, it is written,
After the Arameans saw that they had been routed by Israel, they regrouped. Hadad-Ezer had Arameans brought from beyond the Euphrates River. They went to Helam, with Shobach, the commander of Hadad-Ezer's army, leading them.
So if established that Rib-Hadad is the same as Hadad-Ezer of the Bible, the gathering of the pro-Aramean coalition of the Amarna Letters has a direct parallel to the biblical account. The referenced region of Helam has not been definitively identified by modern historians, with theories ranging from as close as the Jordan Valley to as far as the Euphrates River. This study will consider it to be the region around the city of Sumer, since this was the location of the decisive battle between Rib-Hadad and the Habiru-supported leaders. Additionally, the Amarna vassal ruler of Bulos could have the same name as the biblical character Hadad-Ezer in an etymological perspective. This interpretation holds because both the Akkadian term Rabu and the Hebrew word Ezer can be translated as helper. The name Rib-Hadad could come from the phonetic transliteration of Rabu-Hadad, that means helper of Hadad, which has the exactly meaning as Hadad-Ezer. While there is an etymological distinction between the original Akkadian word rib, meaning great, and its variant Rabu, meaning helper, this difference is easily reconciled. The shift may represent a deliberate wordplay on the name of the ruler of Byblos, transforming its meaning from great is Hadad to helper of Hadad, with a theological warning: those who aid the Canaanite god are destined to fail. Alternatively, this shift could be attributed to the flexibility of the written syllabic system, which permits the phonetic rib to be interpreted as ribu due to their similar sounds. In the biblical account, the regrouping of the Aramean forces under Hadad-Ezer posed a significant threat to King David, prompting him to take decisive action. This enemy resurgence could have led him to gather his elite warriors, the Gibborim. They were King David's mighty warriors, mentioned in the Bible, particularly in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 23. Despite the absence of a direct mention of King David's mighty warriors in the biblical account of the Aramean War, the reference to David's leadership following Hadad-Ezer's regrouping strongly implies their involvement. In a conflict of such magnitude, it is highly likely that David would have mobilized his elite warriors to secure victory. Additionally, Abishai, a key figure previously examined in this study, was among these warriors, further supporting their probable participation. This involvement is echoed in the narrative found in 2 Samuel chapter 10, verse 17, which recounts David's decisive action upon hearing of the Aramean regrouping.
When David was told of this, he gathered all Israel, crossed the Jordan, and went to Helam. The Arameans formed their battle lines to meet David and fought against him.
This scenario mirrors the situation in the Amarna Letter, where the collaboration among the Habiru-supported leaders and a group known as the Sons of Abdashirta could not allow Rib-Hadad to consolidate power. The next chapter will explore the Amarna figures of Shumhada, Etakama, and Aziru son of Tutu, who could be identified respectively as the biblical characters of Shammah, Takamoni, and El-Azar son of Dodo, also known as the famous 3 Gibborim of Israel.